everyone, I'm Kailee with Renat, and today we're interviewing Aliya, Antonio, and Ray. Hey everyone.
Hey.
So, although you guys don't have a film that you directed in the festival, you have still worked on quite a few of the films that are there. And I know you've directed your own films as well, so do you want to kind of tell us about stuff that you've worked on throughout this year, whether it's films in the festival or your own films?
Yeah, I guess I'll start.
Sure.
But we did quite a few projects actually. The first one was our mini doc, which was kind of our first film overall. I'm pretty sure, I don't think we had anything before that. And it was supposed to be about 7 minutes, I think. It was pretty short. And the one that I did was with Renat, Amanda, and Gareth, I think. It was quite a while ago, but yeah, we did ours on a comic artist. His name's Daniel Torres, and he did a lot of comic book and pop culture based art, where he appropriated characters and put them on top of the source material. It's kind of cool. And we also did our documentaries, 10 minutes, so the longer version documentaries, and we also did our narratives. But we also did 48-hour films. So we had 48 hours to complete a short film. We weren't given anything other than a prop, a line of dialogue, and I think it was like a slug line or something like that. Just something like pretty much a single sentence to inspire the story. So that was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then for me, I had a film. My short narrative was called Butterfly. And it was about it was about two friends who were leaving a party, and they came upon a body of an unconscious girl who they thought was just like passed out. Then the police came, and they were now suspects of a murder crime, and they had to deal with that. And, turns out she actually wasn't dead. And yeah, and that was super fun. It was super cold working on that one because it was the beginning of March.
Well, I think I started my first project, like mainstream project, for me, Pancho's documentary, which Shruti was directing. It was about an immigrant woman who was trying to help out Syrian refugees get settled in Canada. Her name is Kay Habib. And as students of the advanced filmmaking program, there was a lot of education that wasn't really, I would say, well, I wouldn't say it wasn't emphasized on in all these classes or lectures we had, but you get a new angle, a different angle when you go on set. And I was the producer, and day one, I really didn't had, to be honest, to be brutally honest, I really didn't had clear idea of what am I supposed to do. If everything in check, well, Shruti was doing a fine job. The whole crew was, well, they're working really hard. But then it kind of came across to me as like, I would say difficult, but educational. And then the next semester came up, and we had our narrative productions. And as Aliya said, it was so awesome because it was in March, and the time kind of worked according our way, because then right at the end of March, I suppose, the whole circumstance happened.
Mm-hmm.
But well, my experience, I would say that, and then my film got selected to go in production, The Pleasures of Samantha Cook. And I was a bit worried because when we were being briefed about which way we have to go, like bloodshed and all that, gun and violence and all that stuff. I remember saying to Adam, well, right after when he briefed us all about these things, that no blood, no violence, and all that stuff, I went to Adam and I said, Adam, my film is about a psycho killer, so I think there will be blood. Unintended. Coen Brothers movie. No,
Yeah.
there's not Coen Brothers. Yeah, there's. Oh, yeah. That kind of made me stumble upon new drafts, working my way around bloodshed. Kailee was the DOP on film, and every time I look all these footages, you can't help but notice to what level my crew dared me. Because right then and there, also when I was on set working my way out, there were many things that I wasn't ready for. There were rewrites. We had to throw our screenplay away. We have to chunk it because we really have to work our way into that timeline. But yeah, it
Yeah, I
was.
wanted to add something with your film. Romy mentioned something. It kind of blew my mind when he said, you have the shooting script, right? And
Yeah.
then once you're done filming, once all the footage is captured, you throw it out. It's almost like it's a totally new film, and you gotta make, it's a new puzzle, new pieces, and you gotta make something new out of it. So it's almost like a new film.
I mean,
altogether.
it's like a very drastic and exhilarating journey from the moment you completed your final draft, as in the script, and when you sit on the editing table, you they're like total opposites. It might become opposites, but it's never the same. It's never the same. When you write this, when you're sitting on the editing and going on about which shots and what kind of a rhythm and pace I want for my film, it's never the same.
Yeah,
And
my film. Sorry.
Yeah.
My film, the script and the actual final project are completely different. Like the script's very, it was very linear. Like they find the body, they deal with it, the problem solved. But then when I put it all together, it turned out to be more like of a montage. So throughout this whole film, they're calling into work like this. They're calling their manager like this crazy thing just happened, blah blah blah. And instead of having it be linear, all of the scenes that we filmed just are interjected in the phone call, and I ended up making it more like dynamic and something I
kind
like
of
a lot more.
Yeah, Nolan-ish kind of a thing. He plays with B rolls while there's another scene.
It was like the record scratch, the stereotypical. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
So another question I have would be like, did you guys come into the program wanting to focus on one specific area of filmmaking? Because I know each of you both directed a film and produced a film. You've done both of that, plus all the other roles when it comes to. So you've had like a wide range of experience. So did you come in thinking you do one thing, but now you kind of change because you've experienced other things?
Yeah, I came in kind of wanting to focus on post-production because I was in the previous program, the broadcasting, film, and television before this one, and I really liked the editing aspect more than anything in that program. So I kind of held that standard going into this one, but I ended up like completely switching gear and liking the pre-production aspect, like all the paperwork and the writing and the storyboarding and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And it became something that I kind of want to focus on, which I was kind of blindsided by, because I had never really. I'm not much of an organized person myself, but when it came to all that stuff, it was like my calling.
I got a question for Ray. I heard some inside information about your production, and I got a question about your shooting style, because I heard like you got a close up on a dolly, you got a medium close up on a dolly, then somebody comes in, of course it's gonna be dolly. Why you like dolly so much, and how many dolly shots you got in your movie?
Well, as I said, when you're on set, you kind of tend to, learn more. Um, I like movement. I don't know. It's just maybe how shall I put it? Well, the reason I don't like photography as much, or I don't like photography as much as I like videography, is because there's movement in subject, and when the camera moves, it I don't know, it sparks something in me, the fluidity of it or something like that. So I was really trying, because there were close-ups, but I was also always trying to, keep an alternative footage like of the movement. How well could that turn out? And yeah, well, I think I like movement. That's it.
Filming
So,
our interview static. Do you feel betrayed or no?
pardon me?
Filming our interview very static, right? Like computer camera or like a phone camera. Do you feel betrayed by your crew or no?
That's why he's on his phone.
Well,
Move it.
Dolly,
oh, I can't tell you. Saved me 3 days. She saved me. Like, thank you, thank you. The Russian.
So, do you guys have, since your films aren't in the festival, do you plan to release your films to the public?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
I've,
gonna.
uh,
Oh, yeah, you
Go ahead.
Right.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Thank you. But I've shot a little bit of mine on the side, like I think it must have been March or early March. I think
yeah.
it was 5th or 6th, yeah. And I shot mine a little bit. I didn't quite finish it just because I was a little bit concerned about, you know, uh, having time conflicts with the other scheduled films. But I kind of shot mine on the side, the narrative films, and it was all outside. It was really most of it was outside. I'd say most of the script was exterior this, exterior that, forest, and everybody had their boots stuffed into the snow. Everybody was huddled up. Some people had to hop into my mom's car with the heat on just to stay alive. So I don't think Brandon was acting very much. I think he was actually pretty cold. So he gave a pretty genuine performance. But I'm hoping to finish it once this whole coronavirus thing is done, and hopefully get together with you guys and work on something again. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, my film, I was kind of bummed about it, but I kind of get it. It's pretty short. I was just going to release it probably like tomorrow or maybe the day after. I've already had like so many of my family members like, send it to me, send it to me. So I'll probably like put it on like Facebook or something, either tomorrow or Thursday or Friday or something like that, just to get it out there, because the script's not written by me either. It was written by Grace Nelson, who used to be in the program. So I'm gonna tag her in it and all that stuff because it's pretty much her film. I just did the filming part of it.
Which it makes it your film as well.
Yeah. But without her, I probably wouldn't have gotten a chance to make a film. So I'm really happy that I had the opportunity. But I wish she stayed in the program.
Yeah. Ray, are you going to release yours once you're done editing?
I don't know about it because I'll be moving out. I'm moving back to my place, so there's a lot of cultural difference. But I'll surely put it up on YouTube. And to be honest, I'll be relying on you guys to help with the marketing of this film in Canada because I won't be here for very long. So, yeah, we did the hard work. It's only fair to put it out in the world to see that, yeah, this is what a bunch of students in advanced filmmaking program at Fanshawe College made a film about a psycho killer. And she has, she's weird. Her blood kind of looks like chocolate syrup and all that, but they still worked it out. So,
yeah,
surely I would.
So we heard the
Sorry,
name of
yeah,
a
the
race
details
movie,
of my
The Pleasure of Samantha Cook. So I want you guys to name your movie so people can like try to look for it.
Mine's called Butterfly.
Mine, which isn't technically part of the list of films by the school, is called Beyond the Snow.
You also got like a really good like a 48 hours movie
Oh,
movie challenge. I
yeah.
think it's a really good movie. Can you name it as
That's
well?
another crazy personality. Maybe he would date Samantha. Like maybe they'd make a good couple. But it's a crazy juggler. He's a serial juggler, and I won't spoil it. Maybe I'll post it. But it's called Go for the Juggler, and it's the 48-hour film that I did.
And it's really funny.
Mhm.
It is. It is. Thank you.
Guys, what was your the most memorable moment on film production? Either yours or your classmates?
Could you repeat that? Sorry.
What was the most memorable moment on a film production? Either your film set or your classmates and friends' film set?
For mine, because it was filmed the beginning of March, I had our classmate Sarah Seguin play one of my characters. She played Irene, who is the unconscious girl. She had to lay in the wet, snowy ground at 4 in the morning when it was -10 out, and I felt so bad. And then the other actresses too, like it was supposed to be like a post-party scene, so they're in like dresses and stuff. So I had my car pulled over and I had like the heater blasting, so every like between shots they would all just go take breaks in the car.
That's really complicated because there were so many films that we were, well, not so many. There were quite a few, I should say, of films that we were part of, and also like there was a lot of hours, especially depending on the film that you were on. There were even longer hours. One that kind of stood out for me that was kind of funny. Maybe I'll just say a funny one. Was in Ethan's production. It was actually the last shot that we had to do, and it was in Victoria Park. And there was a squirrel that was unnaturally friendly. Like it just kept approaching us, kept trying to say hello. And Simon spent a good part of 10 minutes or so capturing this squirrel and just filming it as B-roll. And then that kind of became our inside joke where the squirrel was a character in the film, and this and that. And he was just kind of skittering around the grass, and Simon was so into it, and we were just kind of laughing, but kind of hoping that it would make it into the film as like the main role of the squirrel. But, yeah, that was a memorable moment for me.
Did you make it to a film or no?
Not as far as I know. From the rough cuts that I saw, I didn't see the squirrel.
I think it's an Amanda's behind the scenes, the whole video that we put up. Yeah. I think
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I think I saw squirrel squirreling down the grass. I was like, that's weird, and now I know.
That's awesome.
Ray, what's your memorable moment?
Well, as Antonio said, there's so many, but well, I was in Daniel's short film, and Renee was in it, and I had to be this greasy, potentially molested kind of guy. I was like, okay, and we were having our auditions, I think, from the AFM theater department. And we had our old setup. There was this big LCD screen in front of us, and we were supposed to, really look for actors, even though if they were not auditioning for our film. And I remember Danielle, she was sitting right in the front row, and she kept staring at me. I was standing in the back. I was like, okay, what is up with her? And like, I love your eyes. They're so creepy. And then I was like, whoa, wait. And like, so my script, and yeah, and then she got talking, and like, okay, so you want me to play a part in your film? And I was kind of excited, like, okay, yeah, I'm like, I love camera and I love acting and all that. And there's like, yeah, you're gonna be harassing a woman. And she said it so swiftly that like funny is like, okay, right? And yeah, I mean, it, I think in Feb or Jan, I think it was in January, the whole before the cold freeze happened, and yeah, Danielle would not let anyone would like would not let anyone sleep on set. She has a really unique way of not letting that happen. She would just scream at her in the ears. And I also saw some pics of Ethan with quite the out on his face. So yeah, it was encapsulated so much. I really can't even think of there. The whole experience was so reforming. Because yeah, I've been on sets back in India. I've done work, but then there's only a few amount of time you meet people who share the same kind of intensity and curiosity to learn new things, and I feel lucky to be a part of this batch. So yeah.
When a director compliments you on being creepy, do you take it as a
Mhm.
compliment or no?
Well, when she said that you have creepy eyes, I, I said, but my mother thinks I'm a good kid. I don't know. Like that was my instant reaction, and like, yeah, I know, but you will be ready for that stuff. I was like, okay, well, that's what you see. My eyes are beautiful. That's what my mom says. But then,
So, Ray, did you plan on playing the creepy guy in your film before Daniel asked you, or after?
I think it was before when I was writing the script, and I think, yeah,
It's always been that way.
really-
Yeah.
You already knew you had that little bit of a creepy look, right? Since you
Yeah.
planned on doing your own
All
film.
right, I see where you guys are getting at. Okay, I'm a creepy guy. I don't really do anything about it.
I just mean that, like, I don't know.
It's coincidental, Kaylee. It's just that I'm a good human being. I like to believe that.
Maybe Danielle took inspiration from yours.
I didn't even read the script when she approached me. I don't think so.
So, who were your guys' like influences, director-wise?
So many.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe not directors, but there's definitely films I've watched that have made me want to pursue it. Like the entire Marvel franchise, all those movies. I love them so much, so I always wanted to maybe be a part of it. But like my all-time favorite movie is such a terrible movie. It's Twister from 1996. I absolutely love that movie so much, and it made me like want because I love natural disaster things. They're really interesting. So I always like, oh, I want to do that too. Um, so yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, I don't know about directors. Really.
Do you guys have any?
Yeah.
Oh, Anthony.
I'll have the conch. But for me, it's a couple. If you guys have seen my laptop, I have a Werner Herzog sticker on it. I know Ray's used my laptop more than I have. But yeah, I like Herzog mostly because he has no bounds with storytelling. He doesn't care if it's documentary or narrative. He'll borrow, the conventions from both. If it's a narrative story, he'll use the documentary style to be more realistic, and vice versa. If it's a documentary, he'll add narrative to make it more of a storyline. And he knows storytelling to no limits, right? Like he'll do anything in order to tell a story. Sometimes he'll fake the truth for some underlying greater truth, you know. But I think for that reason, I really like Herzog because he understands storytelling in all of its forms. But I like Scorsese too. He's kind of like a popular director. Most people know him. Just because of how particular he is with all of his details. Even if it comes to music, like music choice, or if it's the way that an actor like turns around, or the way that the light and the shadows kind of interact with one another, he's so meticulous. And I've never been a stickler for details, but since I've watched his films, I feel like I'm more in tune with really specific details, and I think maybe being a filmmaker requires you to be so. Aliya mentioned organization, but also like details are another thing that come hand in hand, like being very receptive and sensitive to details. And yeah, Scorsese is pretty good with details.
Yeah, the first Western realistic movie that I ever saw was The Godfather, and and I watched it in Hindi. It was a Hindi dubbed version of it, but I don't know, the very opening scene of it, I believe in American whole monologue of one of his friends. And again, as Renat earlier mentioned, why the dolly on the outshot, the whole encapsulates the whole form of the room. I don't know what, I didn't know anything about filmmaking, and I just I don't even remember how I stumbled upon this movie, but wow, what the very opening scene, I found my voice that it's something I want to do. And then later, it was all research. Okay, I liked this film. Who's the actor? Oh, he's Al Pacino. What are his other movies? And then I watched all those movies, and then I like the directing style of it. And then I'll search the director and his filmography or her filmography, and it kind of went on. So, and the one director that really stood up to me was Christopher Nolan, hands down. I have never seen the kind of non-linear structure he plays out, and in turn keeps on people curious enough to really like see what's gonna happen. I don't know what magic he has, and I always have dreamt to be in his unit, like both under him, like on his crew or something. I really just in Christopher Nolan through, and yeah. So I'm always a big fan of this non-linear structure. So that's why I use like Godfather Part 2 more than Godfather Part 1. So
especially Memento, eh? That's like
probably
the biggest example.
Yeah. Well, the first film I watched of Christopher Nolan, I think, was the Dark Knight. So I really didn't have any idea that he made Memento. That Memento even existed. And when I saw it, I was like,
getting back to Godfather in Hindi, how in Hindi will be the phrase, I'm going to give you an offer you can refuse?
Oh my God, is it the... Oh, now I remember, I told you guys about this. Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, what was that question?
How will be in Hindi with Joe? I'm going to give you an offer you can refuse.
I'm gonna give him an offer. मैं ऐसी शर्त रखूंगा कि वो मना नहीं करेगा. Yeah.
Yes. What's your
It's not.
What are you guys' expectations from movie festival?
Like movie festival in general, or this?
First Take Film Festival.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I answer Antonio and Ray first, since they know nothing of what's going to happen. Aliya have kind of planned the whole thing.
I have
already know.
Mm-hmm.
You guys expect to be like really good? Are you really excited for it? What are you looking forward to?
I'm surely excited about it. The bonus fact that I'm gonna be seeing all of you guys again, celebrating our 1 year in a way. Um, but going into the production week when we were aware that okay, there's gonna be a film festival down the and I mean, I'm not sure about anyone else, but for me, I had the whole imagination. Okay, we'll be in the Wolf Hall performance. Tape. We'll be enjoying. We'll be talking. That will be like a farewell party, and of course, now it's not the same way that's gonna happen. But yeah, I'm excited about it, but I'm curious as to how things will turn out to be. So
I'm very curious because I've actually never been to any film festivals before in my life. Like I went to one, but it was like a small one just for school. But, it wasn't really organized as like a really big event. It was kind of small, but this one there's quite a lot of people attending from what I can see, and I think all of the directors who have films on the list. I think it's 10 if I'm not mistaken. But how many is it? 10, right?
10 or 12.
14 films.
14.
I will want to say 11 directors.
I think something.
14 movies, yeah.
Yeah, either way, the films that were selected have so much, pre-production into them, and so much thought went into them, and I think I'm excited to see every single one of them. I think it's going to be a really good time, and also just to see everyone again, my whole class. It's going to be nice to catch up after being stuck in our rooms for so long.
Yeah. So, what are your guys' plans for the future?
That's a big question.
wow, why? Okay.
I don't even know what I want for dinner.
Sushi?
No, I'm not a seafood person.
Veg soup?
Okay, so then what are your plans for the festival? Do you have like a big family gathering to watch it? Are you watching it by yourselves? Getting together with friends? Well, I guess you probably shouldn't get together with friends.
Yeah, no.
Ignore
Yeah,
that.
we should all watch it at the Wolf Performance Hall. We should all just get together and watch.
Yeah.
That just like came out like times are normal, but they're not.
That's okay. I don't really know what normal means anymore. So.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna be like spamming everybody I know with Lane.
Sure.
It's gonna be like constant, like make sure you watch it today. But yeah, I'll probably just watch it with my like partner or something. And then hound my parents to make sure they watch it for the view count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody watching in the comfort room of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw it up on this TV here. I think.
The male gaze selected. The male gaze is gonna be screened in the festival, right? Yeah, can't really let my mom watch that. So.
I have a question for me and Rishabh, since we were like both in a male gaze. Rishabh, do you expect to go on any days after this movie is going to be released?
Well, Danny Elfman is the director. He is an excellent storyteller, and I hope only the best for him. It's a film, it's a narrative, so it's not about me. It's only
Well put.
yeah, thank you. It was totally spontaneous. I don't know what is that.
For me, it's easier. Like, I have a girlfriend in Japan, so I'm not gonna like feel bad about that. So I'm not gonna feel like getting refusals. But if I'll be single, it'll be probably hard after like people watch these movies,
Oh no. So there's faith in relationships, Renee.
Yep.
So,
Dr.
what would be one thing that you'd want to say to other people wanting to make films?
Love every second of it, no
Yeah.
matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I would say
meant to-
start with your vision. Be very
Yeah.
confident in what you're trying to say, and know what you're talking about. Don't just film something because you can, but because you have to. Because something in you has to film it. And if you're gonna go through all of the this blood, sweat, and tears of putting a film together, you might as well love it. Like you gotta. It's your child. You gotta really bring it up with the best best things that you have, put everything you have into it.
I think
Yeah.
everything comes down to this one single fact that if there's a story inside of you, then you have that itch to really present it out to the world, then you should rely on that itch inside you.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's not an easy task to shoot, to work with actors, to work with the crew. It all takes a lot of discipline and preparation and all that stuff. And somewhere along the line, you're gonna twist your ankle, something like that. Exhibit A. But if you believe in your story, that's the key to all of this. And
Yeah.
there's no way you will hate this if you love your story enough. So,
Mhm. Yeah, I would say just do it, because I think no matter if you have the capability to film it with a huge crew and you have all this equipment, it's just you have like a DSLR camera and you're just one person. Whatever you film, even if it's just like a bunch of flowers and like nature shot stuff. Like I think no matter what you film, you can put it together that you like. Then I think that in the end, that's all that matters. If you're happy with it and you don't care what other people think about it, then I think you might as well just do it. Like if you want to film and you have the drive to film, then just go out and do it and don't care about the end result. You should just do it.
Is there anything else you guys want to say before we finish?
she said just do it sometimes as going up and like this. I don't know if you guys have seen that video. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing you guys all at the festival. Congrats to everyone in this group chat for working so hard this year. We should all stay in touch. Keep working hard. Stay inspired.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow is our festival, 7 p.m. at filmfanshaw.ca/first take. See y'all there.
Yeah, go watch.
Yeah.
Woo.